The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, the amusement industry, and everything to do with fun. Here are your hosts, Carsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, Cedar Point, and everything to do with fun.
And we're back again, huh? So I want to say, I didn't even get to tell you guys this. I listened to the podcast, a little behind the curtain. I listened to the podcast just to make sure there's no mess ups and audio sounds good and whatever. And I just listened to it while driving. Anybody that listened to the podcast that kind of gets it on automatically download and stuff. I have a bird that screams a lot, and he's screaming a lot the last episode. I thought I muted myself when I was yelling downstairs.
Oh, I didn't even hear that, I don't think.
And I was like, shut up, like so loud. And I was like, Gabby, just his name's Gabby. And literally I was like, I was driving from Cedar Point back home. I had a drink in my mouth. I literally almost spit it out because I was like, oh, my mute button didn't mute. And it literally was like, uh-oh.
Was I around for the last episode? I feel like I heard that live.
Yeah, you and Kyle were talking, and I don't know how you guys just didn't pick up on it or whatever. I don't know if, because I hit mute on the keyboard, but now I'm just going right directly through the mic.
Thing you didn't start swearing and calling them slurs.
Yeah, right. And I think. So, and
would have had to post an apology on the page.
Yeah. I apologize. If anyone heard that, it was like, holy crap. Luckily I heard that within 24 hours of it being uploaded. And so I was able to I had to download our episode and then download a app where it'll scrub, high pitched frequencies. And luckily mine was really high pitched to where it didn't lose any of what Kyle, because it was literally while Kyle was talking and you guys were talking at the same time. And so luckily it was able to do that. So yeah, just a little.
That's awesome. Well, we're off to a great start. Anyways, welcome back after 2 weeks now?
Yeah, it has been 2 weeks. Sadly, Evan, we're getting towards that elusive closing day, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. That Kyle doesn't have to deal with because he's like, oh, I guess I'm going to go to the park.
Yeah, that's why he road tripped last week.
Yeah, right. We got a huge. That's also the reason.
That's really the entire episode. That's the only thing we have to talk about this week.
Why we missed last week is Kyle was traveling all around the United States. But first, before we get into all that fun stuff, a little bit of some house cleaning. We have been aware. Everybody has been emailing us and also messaging, putting on the comments and stuff. Spotify, we are aware of it. We're not exactly sure what's wrong with Spotify. Currently, the new episodes are not uploading to Spotify. Kyle's been troubleshooting. I've also been troubleshooting. We're working on. Evan's like, oh, he's like, I didn't even know we were on Spotify. And so we're working.
To be honest, I really thought that we were trying to get on Spotify 2 years ago, and it just kind of never happened. So good to learn that we were on Spotify.
Fair, yeah. So we're working on that, and hopefully, that will fix itself. Hopefully, and we'll maybe have an update the next episode because we're not recording next week, but we'll record the following week. But yeah, so stay tuned on that. But if you can't listen to us on Spotify, we're all on pretty much all the other Spotify, all the other podcast, I guess, apps you could say, where you can go on I think google.com and search podcasts and you can find us there, or Apple Podcasts if you're an Apple user, or even direct if you don't want to do any app or anything, you could just go to cprundown.com/podcast, and it should bring you into a podcast player, and you can literally listen just from there if you don't want to open up or download another app. So apologize for that. So we're trying to.
It's right on our front page on
cprundown.com. So, but yes, just to stay up to date on that. So, but anyway, moving on. Unfortunately, like I just talked about, we've got 8 operating days, Evan. We're down in the single digits, 8 operating days left until Cedar Point closes. And I'm sure Kyle is going to release this on Saturday. So by the time that is, that's we'll have like what, 6, right?
Counting day.
When we release this on Saturday. It'll be 6 days until Cedar Point is closed for the season, and then we have to look forward to 2026. But there is a caveat. Kings Island is going to be open for a bonus weekend the following week or whatever, which will be really nice. So if you still got that coaster itch, go down to Kings Island. All of their coasters besides Beast and I think the Eiffel Tower will be open. And it'll just be like
weather permitting.
But yeah, so pretty much it'll be like a normal day at Kings Island and stuff right before they start Winterfest, and obviously a lot of the rides and things like that will be closed for Winterfest, and but yeah, so I think I'm gonna go down that Saturday maybe. And
I was thinking about it, and I don't know.
It kind of sucks that the Beast
not having Beast open was kind of the nail in the coffin for me. Like I was kind of 50-50 already.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I have stuff to do Thursday and Friday that weekend too, so it was going to be a hell of a whirlwind. So I think that kind of put the nail in the coffin. But it's cool, and I hope that it's successful and they keep doing it.
Yeah, I hope so too, and I hope it trickles up north. And Cedar Point's like, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll stay open and just until like mid-November.
The second Cedar Point tries to do anything, it's going to be the first time it snowed. Like.
I know, right? It'll be like, whoa, we got like effect snow and we've got 2 feet of snow, and it's like, well, sorry,
We'll have record-breaking snowfall that weekend.
That's and then 60 degrees the following.
Of
that's
course.
Just exactly.
I could tell you what the weather will be at Kings Island on bonus weekend. It'll be 80 and sunny because that's the first weekend Cedar Point's closed.
Oh, all right. I thought you were legit going to give me a weather update.
No, it's too far out for Cedar. It's too far out for Cedar Point this weekend. What are you saying?
Yeah. That's fair. Speaking of closing day, we will be having our group photo. I know that some people have asked, when are we or where we're going to have it and when. It'll be at 3 p.m. Location to be determined, and the location is up to y'all. You literally, there's a link on our Facebook page. You have to be signed up on our group page. And literally, there's no. Just fill out the questionnaire and stuff, and then you can vote. You can vote as many times, or not as many times. You can vote for as much as you want. And I was going to do it on our actual Facebook page, but I think I got to like 7 or 8, and then it stopped giving me an option to add more polls. And I was like, uh-oh. So then because a while back, maybe like, I don't know, almost a month ago or something, I was like, hey, where should we have the group photo? And everyone was just writing down a bunch of different answers. And so I was like, okay, cool. We'll create a poll. And then I created a poll on Facebook, and then it wasn't big enough on the page. So then I went to the group, and the group was literally like, okay. So I wanted to make sure, because I put in a lot of work putting in that poll on the page. And then it was like, oh, you can't add anymore. I'm like, frick. Like, really? All right. So then I was like, all right, well, let me try this group. So then literally I start putting the group going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think there's like 17 or 22 different options to possibly pick from.
Lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to give you an idea, I think there's an option of taking a picture on the boardwalk. There's also another option of taking a picture. I took everybody's suggestions and put it in there. Another option was to take a picture next to a Dippin' Dot stand. There's also another practical one where it's like, okay, take a picture in front of Magnum's Lift Hill, which would be kind of cool, or Blue Streak's Lift Hill, or Blue Streak or whatever, because I think that was like one of our very first times that we took a photo was, I think, in front of the Blue Streak.
There's a lot of empty room there.
There is a lot of empty room there. Mm-hmm.
Where that 3-point shootout was, right there by Blue Streak.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. I don't think anybody suggested that one, though.
No, but currently what's leading right now, and
y'all are so original.
I don't understand. Like, we took one closing day last year in front of Siren's Curse. And then
on opening day,
we took one opening day when Siren's Curse was pretty much complete. It wasn't open, but it was pretty much complete. There was still a wall there, sure. And then I'm like, someone suggested, they're like, yeah, do that. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I'll put it on there. And I'm like, there's no way. Literally, that's the vote leading one is taking a picture in front of Siren's Curse again for the third time.
Alert.
So
spoiler alert, that's probably where it's going to be.
It probably will be. So unless there's like a crazy amount of people that join the group and decide to change the vote and put it to something, whatever.
I'm going on record now and saying we are not doing Siren's Curse again for a long while.
Yeah, if it is that, it'll be Siren's Curse, and then after that, it'll definitely be way.
I guess it full circles it, right? Finally, get to have it in the background running.
Yeah.
But I'm really sick of standing down on the midway and yelling at everybody to look at you up at Iron Dragon.
I don't even know if I'm going to do that. I don't know.
I feel like you got to.
We'll see.
Because then that's the best way of getting Siren the tilt.
Oh man, that's a pain in the butt trying to get through everybody when the line is all the way on the exit. And
bold of you to assume that the ride, anything will be open because it's going to be probably like 30 and snowing.
Okay, fair, yeah. But yeah. So anyway, make sure you vote in that closing day photo, and the voting will end. It's supposed to end on Friday, but maybe I'll extend it until like, I don't know, Sunday or Monday, just because this podcast won't be released until Saturday. So feel free to vote, and then we'll see what gets selected, and then just look out for the Facebook event for it. So look forward to
what time are you doing it at?
3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. And we'll look forward to meeting all you guys and saying goodbye and getting ready for the off season, and not sure exactly what. And then obviously we'll be selling the calendars there soon as well. After that. But anyway, speaking of some good news, Six Flags finally got some
positive press,
positive news. I don't know. I'm going to read this word for word. Evan literally, he make behind the curtain. Evan makes these awesome, cool show notes to like kind of keep us on track, and
that's
also
the only thing I actually contribute to the.
No, you contribute with your words and things like that.
I mean, like the behind the scenes. That's all.
Okay, that's fair. So he wrote this and says, Kelce's Life of a Showgirl Eras Tour comes to Six Flags.
Is that not what's happening?
So Travis Kelce, he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs currently right now as a tight end. And he is also engaged now to Taylor Swift. All the Swifties out there that listen. I mean, Anyway, so like yesterday, okay, so we're recording on a Wednesday. So yesterday, Tuesday, he released a video, and it was like a video, I think, of him and his brother. His brother used to play football, and he's retired.
It was part of their podcast.
Yeah, it was part of their podcast. And they showed a video of like old Cedar Point videos, and him saying that, he loves the park and used to grow up going there and going to Jogga Lake and so on and so forth, whatever. Well, anyway, he actually bought a 9% stake in Six Flags, the parent company for Cedar Point, aka what Cedar Fair was, but now it's named Six Flags. He bought a 9% stake in it with what was it, with Jana, right? The company, I think, was Jana, something like.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
We're bad at this.
Off the top of my head, I thought it was Jana. Kyle, do you remember? Was it
Nope.
Kyle's
I don't know. It's some investment firm.
It's what?
Some like investment firm.
Yeah. It's
I couldn't find the article. I was looking for the article before we started recording. I couldn't find it again.
It's I was gonna say, like, oh my goodness. No. It is. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to find it. And Jana, it's it's a firm. Anyway, so pretty much like $200 million or something like that in stock buy that he got. So he's got 9% of the company, and I guess they are wanting to bolster the, I guess, maybe guest experiences and things like that. and whatever. Evan, I know that you were like, oh yeah, they're just going to play Taylor Swift 24/7 at Cedar Point.
Well, I let's be honest. I think a majority of the people that go to the park would say that is enhancing the guest experience.
Right. I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's very odd. I don't know. This is so out of left field.
I don't know. I mean, it jumped the stock like at least like $3 or $4.
I mean, like we said at the top, finally some positive press. Even if it's just kind of odd and weird and out of left field, and probably really won't have any actual impact on anything. It's
a brand new game coming out for 2026 is a field goal, or
yeah, that soccer game that used to be at Kings Island is just gonna be a field goal kicking game.
Right. I mean, I think this is as a positive thing. I don't see why. I think they're trying to bolster the stock and also, make it perform better and whatnot. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there'll be like someone like whispering in whoever the CEO or the board chair or the board or whatever and saying, hey, it'd be really cool if you like, just for instance, like Travis Kelce could be like, it'd be really cool. Like, I remember a long time ago, I gave this idea of like, why don't we just do like $4 beers or $4 or $2 drinks and $1 hot dogs and just things like that to bolster the bottom line and, have more people buy certain some things like that. Yeah.
That's something a lot of, I don't know if it's just generally all sports stadiums. Well, it's definitely not all, because Cleveland sports stadiums are still overpriced as hell, but as far as kind of refreshments and stuff. But I know there's a lot of teams, the NFL, NBA, whatever, that are priding themselves on, hey, look at our cheap concession prices.
Yeah.
And people are like, wow, that's really cool. I like your team now. Like,
right.
If an amusement park came out, Holiday World does this already with, hey, we have free pop. If an amusement park came out and said, hey, like our drinks are $2, our beers are $5, you could get a pretzel for $1. Like, that's going to boost guest perception.
Right. It'd be like, oh, why not? Right. I mean, that wouldn't be.
And people just automatically think every large corporation, and I mean, in a lot of cases, rightfully so, think that every large corporation is a penny pinching, fraudulent company. So I think that would go a long way, especially after they started charging for haunt.
Right. Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know. I know you just gave your opinion, Kyle. What do you think? You think this is a good thing that that Travis Kelce bought a 9% stake in Six Flags, or do you think it's like a red flag and think it's bad,
or think it's a nothing burger? So that's kind of what I think it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's nothing. I think it's just like, oh, a new shareholder, a new many number of shareholders, because he bought a lot. But yeah. I don't know. It's not uncommon for companies and firms to buy and sell shares in the publicly traded parks. I honestly don't really think much of it. I think a benefit that might come out of it is, while he's not a majority shareholder, 9% is not nothing, and he is a very public figure. So he could potentially have, his influence on the company could be much more than his actual ownership of the company. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, like, I guess, okay, it's 9%, but like, if they piss him off somehow and then he leaves and that goes public, that Travis Kelce, he got out of that agreement with Six Flags. Ooh, Six Flags is going under.
True.
So I mean, I feel like he, from an influential standpoint.
What if just thinking outside the box? But like, I mean, what if they were to have? It'd be kind of crazy, and maybe they do it very limited or something at very like limited at parks. But what if they have like Swifty Day?
Oh God, no. You won't catch me at the parks then.
I'm just saying that you might not want to, but like, I mean, Taylor Swift, that fan.
Well, just because she's engaged to Travis doesn't mean that she's very like lock and key with her stuff.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But I'm just saying, like, she maybe not immediately, but I'm just saying maybe And then be like, oh, hey, by the way, you know, the first, I don't know, 10,000 fans that buy like $100 tickets or whatever gets like a autograph photo from Taylor Swift or something. I'm just saying out loud. And
what he should do is do a tour of the parks in the summer himself.
That'd be huge.
And like publicize that.
I mean, yeah, he could be a quote unquote like,
but,
you know,
do it like
spokesperson per se. Not the spokesperson, but like more of the, I don't know, the celebrity guy that's like, dude, go to Six Flags. Six Flags is awesome. You know, he could be the new
Mr. If he came off of that bus and started doing the dance with the,
oh my gosh,
that would be awesome.
That would be sweet. That'd be cool. That would be really cool. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of upside to it. And like I said, like if he gets Taylor involved or whatever, and she does whatever, I mean, I'm just saying that could be really interesting. And I think that would be something that like none of the parks have ever tapped before. And then maybe that might open up some avenues down the road of like maybe other parks like SeaWorld or, I don't know, whatever big parks and stuff like that will maybe brand with like celebrities and stuff and whatnot, you know. It'll be interesting to revisit this in like a year or two, and you know, maybe we'll have
truthfully, I feel like even in like 2 years, if we even remember this as a thing, it'll be like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Right. Anyways, yeah. I don't know. It's a big thing now, and I'm glad it's boosting stock prices and all that. It's a good thing. It's definitely not a bad thing, but I don't think it's a lot of anything.
Yeah, he might be just a nothing burger, like, you know,
but
maybe not. Yeah,
we'll see.
Be like, hey, but he's just like, he just bought it. Just say, hey, I got a stake in Six Flags.
I mean, check that out. When you got the kind of money, like when the relationship that he's in and making so many millions and millions of dollars, and he's not even the breadwinner, he can play around all he wants.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's wild.
Speaking of Life of a Showgirl, I was able to see the Shrieks.
Right, I'll give you that one.
The Shrieks show is in the Jack Aldridge Theater up at the very front, very front by Raptor and stuff. I liked it. It was fun. It's like
is this like the
contamination show?
Is this like the de facto replacement for Midnight Syndicate?
I guess maybe they have like some spooky songs, but they also have like a lot of like they put like their own spin on like a lot of the songs that they use for like upcoming like pop songs and stuff and everything, like pop hits. They put like a different spin on it. It's not just like, you know, whatever. And oh my goodness,
that's just Taylor Swift.
The lead singer, the girl, I don't know what her name is, but wow, she like barely moves her mouth and she just belts out these high notes, and it looks like it's like nothing to her. It's just absolutely insane. So I know that, you know, there's only a few, you know, weeks left or whatever of Halloween weekends and whatever, but if you get a moment, check it out. Just taking a peek here. Looks like on Friday, I would assume. Yep, Friday. The show is at 6:45, 8 p.m., 9:45, and 11 p.m. Definitely check that out. It's also really cool. They added a brand new, at least I think it's a brand new. I haven't been in that theater at all this year, but they have a brand new, really crisp LED board screen in the back, and they have a lot of cool graphics and jump backs and things like that like move around on the screen and stuff, and it really kind of ties in really well with the way that everything gets kind of like acted upon with the dancers and everyone that's singing around and everything. But yeah, it's good stuff for sure.
Cedar Point, I do want to say, like, they've obviously cut down their live entertainment in the last couple of years. I mean, losing a giant stage in the middle of the park kind of hurts that. But
yeah,
what they do have and do is usually pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. But yeah, I think that's all I have. I mean, obviously, you know, I've been riding coasters and everything at Cedar Point as much as I can because, you know, because Cedar Point's going to be closing, sadly, very, very, very soon. And then we've got the off season, which I'm looking forward to, like recharging, and stuff and everything. I've gone a lot this year, a lot more than
you haven't. You have not.
I've gone.
Never go.
I've gone a lot more than what I have gone in the past. Let's just say that, which is kind of crazy. And I'm coming up to almost 100 rides on Top Thrill too. So you can tell what for the year, you can tell which one I really enjoy the most at the park. But yeah, is Kyle, I think is frozen. Is he still here?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Well, he's frozen doing whatever he's doing, but I want to hear about this crazy road trip. I mean, I know that you snuck up here and went to Cedar Point and got to do Hollow Weekends and The Conjuring, and we did a whole entire thing. Yeah, feel free to go. The floor is yours, my friend.
So before I go super, super far into this, I have to preface this by saying that about 2 weeks ago, my grandmother unfortunately passed away. It was very unexpected. And it's been tough on my family. My mom, my dad, my brother, it's been tough on all of them. It was tough on me too. But work was, really great about the whole situation. I went in and I talked to my leadership and I said, yeah, I just had a death in the family. And they said, well, normal bereavement is 3 days. But since you need to travel out of state, we're going to give you 5. So 5 days. So basically a work week worth of paid bereavement leave. And then I also had...
Shout out to your company. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was very, very nice. And then I also had about 3 weeks of PTO left that I needed to use by the end of the year. Really, I only need to use 2 because I can roll over a week, but I have 3.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I am going to take some time and I'm going to road trip back to Ohio for the funeral and the services and everything. And on the way there, I'll make a couple stops, and on the way home, I'll make a couple stops. And it was good. It was funny too. I was at the funeral. I was telling, people, they were like, "Oh my God, you drove?" Yeah. Well, I stopped at a few parks. I broke up the drive, and they said, "Well, that's what Grandma would have wanted. So good job."
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Awesome.
So anyway, starting, I left on a Saturday from Orlando, and that day I decided to go to Six Flags over Georgia. Never been to that park before. Never really done much research on it. It's out of the way on our drives to and from Florida, or at least kind of out of the way. And it's just, I've never had a pass to there before. So it's never really been something that has been on my radar. So also, before we get too far into this, I don't know anything about the Six Flags products. I mean, even like the Cedar Fair products. I don't know what tickets work where. I don't know what parks I get parking at, or if I get drinks here or food there, or like I don't know anything. And I didn't know what rides were at over Georgia. I just knew that they had rides, and I didn't know the park map, so I was lost. Like it was the most unprepared I have ever been for a park day in my life.
You went full GP mode for that.
I really did. I didn't even know they had a chaperone policy. So I get to the front gate and the guy's like, "Let me see your ID." I was like, "Why do you need my ID?"
Didn't you get there at like 2:00?
I got there at like 4. But yes,
okay,
it was daylight. They're like, "ID, please." I was like, "Really?
What?
Okay."
That's funny. This man is on a podcast about Cedar Point and Six Flags, and he doesn't even know any of it.
I know.
That's funny.
So anyway, I walk into the park and immediately I start texting you both. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So yeah. It was busy. I mean, it wasn't terribly busy, but my cell service was really spotty. So I sent a message, which way do I go, left or right? And then it just didn't send. So I said, well, I'm going to go right. And I I ended up at their RMC Twisted Cyclone.
Okay.
That was really good. I waited full queue for it, like line stretched out onto the midway. It was only about 30, 35-ish minutes. They were actually doing pretty well on that ride. It's fun. It packs a punch. I like the layout, but man, that's a short ride.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like what, 45, 50 seconds from lift hill to brake run?
Maybe. It's like baby steel vengeance.
Yeah.
Wow.
They like not even baby, like like newborn steel vengeance.
Yeah. Like it's a short ride time.
That's wow.
It's a good ride though. I really like that ride.
I liked it a lot too. I'm not normally I don't normally care where I sit on coasters. If I can pick, I tend to gravitate towards the back. But I actually got grouped in the front, like row 1.
Oh.
So that was pretty fun. Brand new ride, row 1.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that there wasn't a whole lot more over there. And again, at this point, I knew absolutely nothing about the park layout, so I just assumed there wasn't much more over there. So I went the other way, back past the front gate.
Well, you were mostly right.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I remember what order I hit things in, so I'm trying to go based on order. Next up was Georgia Scorcher, the B&M stand-up coaster. It was good. It was probably the best B&M stand-up coaster I've done.
I agree.
Made
Really?
my legs feel tingly.
Have you even better than Six Flags Magic Mountain Rattler?
I haven't been on that one. Have not been to Magic Mountain.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna say that one was a really good one. That one was really good.
Yeah, it made my legs feel funny, but it was a solid ride. Next
Nice.
up was Daredevil Dive. And this is where the day at this point I've been there for like an hour, but this is where my visit to the park gets kind of interesting. It's like 5 o'clock, 5:15. Park closes at like 10, and I've got like 10 more rides to hit. So you had told me, Evan, and I had heard from people, that Daredevil Dive, the line was really slow. So I looked at the queue, and it didn't seem... I'll put it this way. It wasn't past my I'm not waiting for this threshold, but it was pretty close to it, and I still had a lot to do at a park that I've never been to. So I bought one of the Flash Pass one-shots, like just the single.
Okay.
That's what they call it. That's what the product's called. Like the single skip the line on this ride only right now Flash Pass.
And next year it'll be just pretty much like a one-time fast lane.
Yeah. Right now it's just
Single
called
fast lane, but yeah.
Yeah, right now it's called the Flash Pass : one shot.
Nice. Okay.
But you do it all through their app, and it worked really well. So I did Daredevil Dive. A couple of thoughts about that. Drop was super fun. Restraints are a little odd. Cars are a little odd. And the layout doesn't really do a whole lot. But the drop was cool.
The whole ride's just a little odd.
Yeah. It was
Interesting.
It was weird because it was kind of like a Eurofighter, but not really because it's only one car, and kind of like a dive, but an unconventional dive. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Like a dive coaster, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did not rewrite it, but it was fun.
Sounds like money well spent.
Yeah. So then after this, I'm on my phone looking, and I'm noticing that, whoa, it's letting me book Flash Pass rides. Whoa, it's giving me Flash Passes for rides for free.
Oh.
And so I thought it was like a fluke. I had even talked myself up because it was like right at the top of the hour, and the ride I was trying this on was Riddler Mindbender, the Schwarzkopf Looper.
Ooh, okay.
Really good, by the way. But it was right at the top of the hour, and it started like blinking like ride now. So I even like the way I justified it in my head was, oh, maybe at the top of the hour they just give a few away for free.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Okay.
because there were other people around me. Like it looked like they were refreshing or like scrolling on their phone. So I was like, oh, did I just like get really lucky and get something?
Well, and you're used to like the Disney like lightning lane drop at 1 o'clock or whatever. So
exactly. So I was like, oh, is this like a freebie? So anyway, I get a one shot for Mindbender. I ride Mindbender or Riddler Mindbender. That was a really good Schwarzkopf.
I love that ride. I love that ride.
I understand that it got new trains recently, and that the trains deliver a little bit more of a rougher ride than the old trains. I didn't think it was that bad, except there were like 2 transitions that I really felt it. I was like, ooh, that was rough.
Yeah, now that I think about it, because I rode it once in like, I don't know, when was I there? Like 20, it was the year Twisted Cyclone opened, so it was like 2018.
Yeah.
And then
like
I rode it just a couple of years ago during Holiday in the Park. So, original trains and then the recent trains, and it was like, mostly it was the same. And then, now that you mentioned that, there was a couple like, whoa, what the hell is
There
that?
were a couple just like weird transition points. But as Schwarzkopf coasters are a dying breed, I still love them. That was a great ride. So that's it. So after this, I decide I'm gonna sit down and look like through my FlashPass app and see what's going on. And I still can't really figure anything else like what's going on, except now I see that there's at the very top there's a number that says 4 left or 4 remaining. I was like, wait, okay. Why does it say 4? Or they just give me 5? So I go on and I check my credit card to make sure that they didn't charge me for Mindbender, and they didn't. And then I was like, well, let me look at the receipt, because they email you a receipt, and on the receipt it said evening thrill bundle, and then it had a cost of 0. And then I looked it up, and apparently on select nights after 5 p.m., if you buy a one shot for, it was like Daredevil Dive, Goliath, and like maybe like Twisted Cyclone or some other like top tier ride, they give you 5 one-times for any other ride that's on FlashPass.
Okay.
That is insane. That is a really good deal.
But it has to be, because like if you have like standard FlashPass, I'm pretty sure you still have to pay to get like Daredevil. I don't know. But
don't ask me.
Yeah. But anyway, so I bought one, and granted it was an expensive one shot on Daredevil Dive. It was like $26, like $20, $25, $26.
Still though, you're getting 6 rides.
And I got 6 rides out of it. So I think that was pretty worth it to me.
Same deal.
That's not bad at all.
When the park is busy and it closed at 10. I mean, if it was dead and it closed at 7, then okay, whatever.
So you pay $4.33.
Yep.
A ride, I guess, if you think about
insane.
That's
insane.
Not bad. That's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
And and the queue lines were like what? Like really, really, really
they
long?
They were long. They were long.
Yeah.
No worries about attendance at Six Flags Over Georgia, huh?
No. Twisted Cyclone, again, I waited full queue. It was a half hour. Georgia Scorcher was a station wait at like 10 minutes. But after that, the rest of the queues that I saw looked pretty painful.
Wow. Well, that's awesome though, because I mean, did you need all 6?
I did. I used all 6.
I was going to say, did you need all 6 though, or did you use one to like double up on?
I didn't. I didn't re-ride anything by using FlashPass.
Nice. And having all 6, like you were set. You didn't need to wait any longer than what you needed to, right?
No, I did end up having to wait for their Woody Great American Scream Machine. I did not. I did not flash past that.
Okay. Nice. That sounds like a bargain. That's nice.
So anyway, at this point, now that I figured out I have flash pass, this is when I just started running all around the park, and I don't really remember what order I hit things in anymore.
Okay.
So now I'll just go down the list. Full disclosure, I'm missing 2 credits at this park. I did not do their Batman clone.
Meh.
And I did not ride the the kiddie coaster. I think they call it like Joker Funhouse coaster.
Joker, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did not ride either of those. Also, to show you how much I know about this park, I saw the Kid Flash. And I didn't even know that had been built and already closed.
And is still standing.
Yeah,
and it was already closed 2 years ago when I was there. So.
I walked up to it and I was like, "Oh, I didn't see this on the app. What's this?" And Kid Flash coaster. Oh, is it going to be open today? And then I looked and I was like, "There's no trains in the station." But anyway,
oops.
Yeah.
So next up is Blue Hawk. Have either of you? Carsten? Have you been to this park?
Where?
Six Flags Over Georgia.
No, sorry. I thought that was a new park that you were going into. No, I've never been. I've never been yet.
But Evan, you have.
Yes.
When you rode Blue Hawk, was it like the old ride or was it the new version with new restraints?
was the new version. It was the new version, but it still kind of sucked.
I actually kind of enjoyed it. That was a painful line, even with Flash Pass. They were only running one train.
Oof.
So that ended up being about a half hour.
Yeah. I don't like. So it's an old Vekoma with new trains. I think my issue with that ride was I had a nasty migraine both days I was at over Georgia, and it had nothing to do with being at the park. It was just we were on like a week-long road trip, and it was like kind of towards like the middle end, and I was getting to that point where I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm not at Cedar Point, so I don't have my drink plan. I'm not hydrated. It's 95 degrees in Georgia in August.
Yeah.
So like that ride and like Great American Scream Machine just didn't do well for me.
I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun layout. There's so many head choppers in that thing. There's like 60 head choppers.
That is one thing I do remember about it.
It's also like it's like a famous ride. It was in the National Lampoon's Vacation reboot from like 2015 or 2016.
That's right. Yeah, the whole park was.
Yeah, and I also just think it looks fun because I actually do know. At least I think I'm thinking of this ride, but this wasn't an original to Six Flags Over Georgia, right? They bought it from a place that closed it.
I could find out really quick.
I'm pretty sure it came from like I'm pretty sure it came from like a pier park somewhere.
It almost looks like, quote unquote, maybe like a vortex-ish.
Yeah,
like
it's that idea. It's made by Vekoma, but
yeah, okay. So I'm literally on Six Flags Over Georgia website to take a peek here. That looks fun.
Dinosaur Beach,
in
New Jersey. What the hell?
Yeah,
this is news to me.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's so cool. Like this ride, it's really picturesque because you can tell that it was not designed for the terrain of Six Flags Over Georgia. So the way they solved it is they just stuck it on blocks, and it's like way higher in the air than it needs to be.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yeah.
Sorry, you're forgetting that we're recording. Yeah, this thing was just on a beach in Wildwood.
Yeah.
From 1989 to 1991, and then it opened it over Georgia in I guess it would have been 92. Yeah, 92.
Interesting.
Wow. So I had a good ride on it. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought the restraints were comfortable. I thought the layout was fun. And it was just I had a good ride.
Hey, Kyle, did you get to ride it probably was closed maybe because it's not winter, but like it's the fall. Did you get to ride the new Georgia Gold Rusher?
I did. That's actually next on the list.
No, really?
I did.
Oh, tell us about it. That's so cool.
It's fun. It's that launch into like the little airtime hill. You actually get a lot more of a pop than you think you would.
Okay.
I did not spin very much because our train was balanced really well.
Okay.
So I really didn't spin at all, but it's like a super intense, super upgraded version of kind of like a Pipe Scream or any of those like little disco coasters.
Okay. Did you get wet?
No.
You don't get wet?
Mm-mm. Well, I don't know. I didn't, and it looked like they had it like tamed down because it's cold.
Okay. Maybe they don't have it the water level as high as
I don't know. Me personally, I did not get wet.
Okay.
And I know that when it opened earlier this season and it was cold, I know that they also did not get riders wet then.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about that other than it's a super fun, like super unique little ride model. And also where they put this in the park and where, like the theming that they did around it and everything, it feels more like a legacy Cedar Fair ride than a legacy Six Flags ride. Like it's really pretty. I
noticed that the second I saw the pictures of it when it opened. I'm like,
it's really pretty around there. The station has some light theming. There's like water trickling down the canyon off to the side.
That's cool.
Fun fact, and you might have picked up on, that's where their shoot the shoot rides used to be.
That's insane. It goes top speed at 60 miles an hour. That's insane. That's a little punch right there.
That is a zippy little ride, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not a super long cycle, but it's a fun ride.
All right. Well, hopefully they'll be maybe buying more or something like that. I think that was the last thing that like Six Flags Legacy or whatever decided to buy, and then obviously it got delayed a bunch of years or whatever. But that's cool.
It was sitting in pieces in the parking lot in 2022 when I was there.
Oh, Need to ride it.
Next up for me is Goliath. Not a whole lot to say about this one. Not the best B&M hyper, not the worst. Just fun. The B&M hyper.
Okay, all right.
That's really all I got.
It's an average, yeah.
Yeah. Next up is Superman, and Evan, I think did you tell me that that this is the original? That it's a clone, but this is the one that spawned the clones.
Yeah, so there's this one, the one at Great America, and then the one at Great Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
This was the original, and you could tell because it's kind of built for the terrain.
Yeah, it actually uses the terrain, which was really cool.
It's a little added bonus on that, right?
Yeah. I really like B&M Flyers. They're one of my favorite coaster models. I love Manta at SeaWorld, so I really enjoyed this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about it.
Good stuff.
We're almost done. Next is Great American Scream Machine. I did not like. Thumb down.
Yuck.
It was not good. I had hope going into it. Like I was like, okay, look, and I'm pretty forgiving to Woodies. Both of the Woodies at Canada's Wonderland that we rode on our trip this year, I actually enjoyed.
Yes.
Ooh, Will the Beast. Ooh.
Cannot say the same about Great American Scream Machine. Like we went down the first drop and it felt like pretty smooth, and then we went up the first hill and it felt pretty smooth. After that, it was just nothing. It was so rough.
Yeah. It is. It's terrible.
Rough. Terrible. And jackhammering.
Ugh, I hated that.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, you have a headache afterwards.
We already talked about Riddler. We already talked about Twisted Cyclone.
I think you're just missing Monster Mansion.
I'm missing Monster Mansion and the Mine Train because I did.
Oh, okay. You were the Mine Train too.
Yes.
Okay.
It was fun. I like Aero Mine Trains a lot.
I think that's maybe the second one ever built.
That's what I thought. So originally, I thought that one was the original, but it's not. The original is at what? Over Texas, the El Aserradero or whatever.
Whatever it's called now.
Something like that. So this one was cool. It was definitely an old janky Aero.
Yeah, it was built in '67.
And then
wow.
I'm trying to look and see if I don't think I didn't ride any flats. So the only other thing left to talk about here is Monster Mansion. How did this ride get built at Six Flags Over Georgia? And two, how does Six Flags Over Georgia maintain it? Because the show quality was great. That ride is a gem.
Yeah, that is a Disney ride.
That is like a Disney dark ride, and it's in Austell or wherever the hell Six Flags Over Georgia is.
Austell, yeah, yep.
And everything looked good. Everything looked smooth. Everything sounded good. Like it was just a super cute classic ride. I'm on the website. They even have merch for it. You know what? I thought somebody said they had. I didn't buy any merch because I was holding out. I was gonna buy a Monster Mansion shirt if I saw one. I didn't see anything.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
I'm like 90% sure they are supposed to have.
They did because I saw someone on Twitter at the beginning of the season. It might have been I don't know who it was, but I saw someone on Twitter at the beginning of the season talking about how they made merch for it. They made shirts and stuff.
Yeah, and people on Twitter were like losing their minds.
And I went in like every gift shop too to try to find like stickers or posters or anything, and I could not find it.
Nothing, huh?
No. On the website, they have little descriptions of everything under all the rides, and the description they have for Monster Mansion is the world capital of weird. That's what it says.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So that kind of wraps my trip at Over Georgia. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I did not know much about this park, so I didn't have a whole lot of expectations going in. But I thought the park was clean. I thought the park was well maintained. I enjoyed most of the rides. Monster Mansion's a gem. I didn't eat, but all in all, like it was a super solid visit.
Good.
And technically, that's my closest Six Flags park.
That is your home park?
Yeah, that's my home park.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm glad I enjoyed it. I had not this road trip was kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I didn't really have a whole lot booked going in. I didn't really know where I was going. Even after I had been back at my parents' house for like a week, I was like, yeah, I'm leaving on Saturday. Where are you going? I don't know. I'll figure it
out. Somewhere.
I still got a lot of time off at work, so somewhere. Anyway, so I was anticipating needing to stay at Over Georgia until, like 10 or 11, whenever they closed. But since I got all those one shots, I finished really quick.
Oh,
so
that's good.
I kept driving that night, and my goal was to make it to Tennessee, because the next day I was going to be going to Kings Island.
There you go.
And it was like 8 hours it was like 8 hours or so, maybe a little bit less, from Over Georgia to Kings Island. And I was like, well, because my original plan was wake up at like 6 a.m, drive, get there at like 4, and then stay till close. I was like, well, if I can knock out some of this drive tonight, that's less I have to do tomorrow. Mm-hmm. My goal was Tennessee. Made it to Tennessee, was still feeling good. Decided I'm going to keep going. Made it almost like halfway through Tennessee, around Knoxville. And I decided, all right, I better call it a night. It's getting late. And what I didn't realize, and what I failed to look up, was that there was a Tennessee home game in town that night.
Oh God!
So every hotel was either within like 60 miles was either sold out or $800 a night.
Jesus.
So
man.
I decided I don't need to sleep that bad. I'm just gonna keep driving, and I made it damn near to Kentucky. I was like 15 miles shy of the Kentucky state line before I found a hotel for the night.
He fell asleep in the Buc-ee's parking lot.
Yeah. So think about that for a second. I started in Orlando at like 8 a.m, drove to Atlanta, did like 4 or 5 hours at Six Flags, and then made it to almost Kentucky before I called it a night.
Dude,
I didn't get.
That's a road trip.
I wasn't.
I
didn't
like me.
Yeah, I didn't lay my head to sleep until like 1:15 in the morning, and then I was like,
and that's
okay,
still not even that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I got real far tonight, so I can sleep in the morning. My body woke me up at like 5:30.
Oh God.
And I was like, well, you know what? Free breakfast starts at 6, so I'm gonna get everything packed, eat, and I'm gonna hit the road. So I made it to Kings Island by like 10 a.m. I technically made it for opening.
Oh my gosh.
I definitely did not go in at opening, but I was in the vicinity when the park opened for the day, which I was not planning on at all.
Jesus.
I was staying at the Residence Inn across, down by like the Harley shop and the Taco Bell, really close to Kings Island. Mm-hmm. And that's a super nice hotel. I know I sent you guys pictures and videos.
Yeah, it's very nice.
That was a really nice hotel. So I went and got checked in there, and surprisingly, they had a room for me at like 10:15 in the morning.
Wow.
Got checked in, took a very short nap, like 45 minutes, and then got up and went over to the park. So this is now the Sunday of Columbus Day weekend. So historically, this is the weekend where Cedar Point makes headlines because people are sitting on the causeway for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So I was anticipating that it was going to be busy. So I bought Fastlane ahead of time. This was the first time I made it to Kings Island this year. It will be the only time I get to Kings Island this year. And it had been well over a year since I'd been there, and I was alone. And I had all day. I was like, I'm going to buy Fastlane. Just have fun.
Yeah, good move.
And it works well there. I know whenever we talk about Fastlane at Kings Island, I always, it works so well there. It works well there. I mean, you don't wait more than 10, 15 minutes for anything.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how busy it is either.
No. So obviously there was nothing new for me at Kings Island. So we don't need to talk about every ride. I'll just touch on some highlights. That Beast, the first half of Beast, before you hit the trim brakes on that straightaway, is running phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, it really caught me off. Like, you get airtime on the Beast now.
Mm-hmm.
You do, yeah.
I was not expecting that. Staying on the Beast, I forgot how cool it was when it's dark and you dive down into those ravines and it's like 15 degrees cooler down there in that valley. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really enjoyed that. I had the most insane, out of control, in the best way night ride on Mystic Timbers. And I think that is now my favorite night ride at that park.
Oh.
Okay. That's saying something.
I wasn't sure if it was a fluke, so I did it again, and I had the same out of control insanity ride.
I do love that ride.
That is a good ride. It doesn't let up until you get to the break, for sure.
Had a pretty decent night ride on Adventure Express. That was
slept on night ride for sure.
Yeah.
I was waiting to board, and there was a group of kids that were on the train that was coming back into the station that were talking to another group of kids who were like next in line to board. They were getting on the train I was. They go, "How was it?" "It was awful. It was so rough." I was like, "Jesus." Has it gotten that bad?
These kids haven't ridden a classic Arrow like we have.
Yeah, I was like, "Has it gotten bad?" I wrote it. I didn't think it was any rougher than it was previously.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that was fun. Racer is honestly becoming one of my favorite coasters at Kings Island since it's so good.
Such a good coaster. Yeah.
Love Racer so much. Orion is always fun. I enjoyed it more this time than I think I have in past trips. And I don't know if it's been because I haven't been in so long, but I don't know.
Yeah. Probably a night ride, I would assume.
I got both. I got a daytime and a nighttime.
Yeah. Okay.
I did do, actually, I said there was nothing new for me. That was a lie. I rode Queen City Stunt Coaster.
Oh. Yeah, that should count as like 3 new credits.
Did they turn off like all like the sound effects and the fire? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we pulled up and like I wasn't expecting fire because I hadn't seen fire, but I was still expecting like sound effects, and it was just we sat there and everybody looked at each other for about 8 seconds and then we kept going.
It's just an awkward block break now.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, yeah,
that works. I'm trying to think if I did anything else.
Did you get to see your brand new show building for your ride that's coming back?
Phantom Theater?
Yeah.
I saw the sign, the little photo op out in front. Definitely forgot that already closed. I was like walking into the park and I was like, oh, I should like probably get one more ride on it. It's gonna be different next year. And I was like, LOL, it closed like a month ago.
Yeah.
Labor Day. I think Labor Day.
Something like that, yeah.
Let's see. Did I eat at the park? I did. I ate Tom and Chi. That was pretty good.
There you go. I like Tom and Chi.
I got the chicken bacon ranch.
Okay. I feel like anybody that likes grilled cheese, like that's just the safe bet. If you're at Kings Island, just go to Tom and Chi.
Yep.
They're like gourmet, like or
something.
Yeah, it's not just like, thrown together. Like it's actually really, really good. High quality for sure.
My decision to eat there was partially safe bet and partially there was no line and everything else had lines because it was a very busy day.
There you go.
And then I didn't do any haunts. I thought about it, but like I said, I hadn't been there in so long that I had just as much fun just lapping all the coasters.
Yeah.
So I did not do any haunted attractions, but I ended up staying to the park until like 10 and then went back to my hotel for the night.
Watch the fireworks. Is there fireworks?
There were no fireworks because it was haunt.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's when the park closes at 10.
With it.
Sorry.
There was like this really cool like flame show on the fountain. That was cool.
Yeah, I guess they're doing like a mini fountain and pyro show on the International Street Fountain, like every hour on the hour.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's cool. Check it out before it goes away.
Yeah, and then that's about it for Kings Island. Then the next morning, I stopped at a Wawa in Ohio. Upgrades, people. That was the best.
This man is a huge Wawa fan. If anybody was like wondering,
huge Wawa at Buc-ee's the day before too, right?
Oh, the day before I stopped at 2 Buc-ee's, and then I stopped at 1. Well, no, Saturday I stopped at 2. Sunday I stopped at 1.
Jesus.
And yeah, so I had a nice Wawa coffee on the drive back to my parents. And then we had family time and funeral and service and all that stuff. So I didn't do anything for the next couple days that would be noteworthy to talk about on this show. But Thursday I did get to visit Cedar Point, and that was my first time at Hollow Weekends since 2021. So about 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a bit different now.
It's a little bit different now. Yeah. Shout out to you guys who influenced me to run over to The Conjuring as soon as the park opened and buy tickets. That was so cool.
I'm so glad you were able to do it.
I don't know what I was expecting. It was not that. And I don't know how good I was expecting it to be, but the answer is it was way better than I thought it was going to be.
I was really interested to hear what you would say specifically because you live in Orlando. You'll probably go to Horror Nights tonight.
I could.
And so I was curious, somebody who's so just normalized to Halloween Horror Nights and that quality, if they would think Conjuring is as good as me and Carsten think it is. I guess the answer is yes.
I think it was great.
Good.
Granted, it's not
very good.
It's not like the traditional haunted house, because you're more so you're given tasks and you're doing things and all that stuff. Yeah. But as far as
good scares though,
it does. And I mean, I got a few times.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But as far as production quality and show quality goes, that is a great house.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't even honestly, it doesn't even feel like it's inside the museum. It literally is.
No, I didn't think the museum was that big. Right? We were in there for a half hour. Where were we going?
Yeah. It's this is not the Town Hall Museum I remember.
Right.
How did they fit all that in Town Hall? I don't understand.
Right. Yeah. Crazy.
And then I had the haunted attraction wristband at Cedar Point. So the only totally new to me haunts were Midnight and what's the other one? Bloodbath? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Midnight and Bloodbath. Really, I'm just going to generalize here. I really liked the sets in both of those houses, and I thought they both had awesome potential. But unfortunately, it was a Thursday, and actors were a little thin.
Mm-hmm.
But the sets were great, and the houses, they looked really good.
You could tell that those were the two new ones, right?
You can, yes. At least I could.
Yeah, those are, as far as production quality goes, those are about as good as Cedar Point.
It was fun going through Midnight because I worked in that house when it was hexed. I scared in there. So it was fun kind of going through and spotting the differences and seeing if I could still find my way around. Maybe if we would have been sent through in a group by ourselves, I would have still seen if I knew the backstage cut-throughs. But we were with people, so I didn't want to do that. I did not do Freak Show, just because after Conjuring, we never really made it back there. And then we did do Eerie Estate, and again, this is me being out of touch. I didn't know that they dropped the paranormal theme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did that this year, right?
Yes.
I was not aware of that. So it was Eerie Estate plus some fun new scenes for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did eat at Farmhouse. I opted for the 3 sides like I always do. So this time I got the smashed potatoes, the chicken and dumpling, and the pasta. It was
very
good. It was great.
Yeah,
I was real talk here. I was not ready to admit this the last time I went to the park, because it was so new to me. But I think I'm ready to declare that Siren's Curse is my favorite ride at that park.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got 3 really good rides on it, and there's nothing else like that.
That's a glowing review.
Mm-hmm.
The same park as Millennium and Top Thrill and Steel Vengeance and Maverick, and Jesus, the list goes on and on.
So
yeah, he was a Maverick. Maverick was
prior
number 1 on his
prior
list,
to this. Maverick was my top at that park. And you know what? It's probably still close enough that either of the rides are one good ride away from me declaring that that's my favorite. You know, like if next time I go back, you know, the audio's screwed up on Siren's Curse, but I get a really good ride on Maverick, then it'll flip-flop.
I was like that with Millennium and Steel Vengeance for a while.
Like they're both really close.
I don't know. As soon as we got in the park, Kyle was just like, "Can we go to Steel Vengeance?" Or I'm sorry, can we go to Siren's Curse?
To me, that ride is the perfect mix of thrill, re-rideability, and just fun.
Theming.
It's just so dang smooth, man.
Mm-hmm. It's super smooth. It's intense, but it's re-rideable. I don't get thrashed around like I do on Vengeance. Yeah. The onboard audio is still so cool. I know it's a gimmick, but I love it so much.
It works.
It especially, I think I said this last time, but it especially works so well at night when you're going up the hill and you hear like the buoy bells ringing, and then you look out off to the lake and you can see the buoys lighting up out in the water.
Yeah.
Something about that ride. They knocked it out of the park with that one.
That's good. It's really good. Oh, we also got. Remember, we got you on the front of Top Thrill 2.
Top Thrill 2. I rode front row of Top Thrill 2, which I had never done before.
Yeah. We made sure you rode front row, and it was like. I
haven't done that yet this year. The last time I rode the front on Top Thrill 2 was my last ride on it last year.
It wasn't on Silver Train though, right?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I got bullied low key into doing front row. Like I didn't want to do it, and then everyone just decided. They're like, "Yeah, you're gonna be the one that does it."
Yeah, because one of our friend Kyle, his name's Kyle as well, and I'm like, "Oh, both you guys," because it was his birthday. We're like, "Both you guys are gonna go in the front," and Kyle, you were like, "Huh?" I'm like, "You're going in the front." You're like, "I'm like, you've ridden the very back and stuff. Like, why don't you go to the front?" You're like, "It's cold."
It was cold.
It was. There
were bugs everywhere.
It was cold. It was cold that night. I think it dipped down to like 40
in the 7s
or something.
Yeah. I was pretty vocal about not wanting to ride in the front, and the load attendant thought I was scared. She was like, "Oh, buddy, I promise it's really not that scary. Like you'll be okay." And I was like, "Ma'am, it is not a scare issue. I am freezing, and it's gonna be cold."
Yeah. I was hanging out in the back with Jared with our hoods up, and like we had ties and stuff, and I don't even think you had a tie on your hood or anything, and so you were just flopping around in the wind with no tie on your hood.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, I didn't ride a whole lot. I think Carsten, you stayed with us until about 11. Yeah. And then after 11, me and my other friend Mason, who we were with, we ended up jumping on a few things. We rode Magnum, Siren's Curse again, and we closed out the night on Maverick.
There you go.
Very good.
I got a decent little chunk of rides in.
Yeah. And plus, like you said, you haven't been there since 2021 for Halloween weekends. So
yeah, it was really nice to be back. I used to always say that Halloween weekends was my favorite time of year because it's just such a different vibe. I still think that is true. I still think it's my favorite time of year at that park. So yeah, it was good to get back after 4 years of not attending Halloween weekends.
Very good.
And then now I had a whole lot of different ideas for the drive home. My first idea was Dollywood. And then I was like, well, I just went to Dollywood in last year, like Christmas. And
but Fire in the Hole was closed, I remember.
Yeah, but I want to go back for the new ride next year.
That's true.
Like, I don't really need to go back. I don't really need to go 3 years in a row. And then I was like, what?
Let Dolly hear that.
Yeah. And then I was thinking, what I really want to do.
What do you mean you don't want to come back?
Yeah.
I'm going to strike you down.
What I really wanted to do was Virginia, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which is one of my favorite parks.
Yeah.
Kings Dominion, and then Six Flags America, because I've never been. At this point, I'll probably never go. And then I got to thinking, I was like, it's Saturday, and all of these parks are only open Saturday, Sunday, like for the remainder of this week. So I would have to hit like 2 today and 1 tomorrow, or flip flop it, and that just seems like a lot of running for not a lot of enjoying. So maybe if I would have planned it better, I would have left on Friday, tried to hit a park Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. but I did not plan that well ahead of time. And then I was thinking, well, the only other feasible park I can get to without taking me like super far out of the way is Carowinds. And I had not been to Carowinds since like 2017.
Oh, wow.
I was missing Copperhead Strike and their little family coaster that they just added.
Okay, yeah, that opened this year, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, you haven't been there in a while.
No, so I decided that Carowinds was the winner. And, I was getting a little nervous. I kept at rest stops and stuff. I kept looking at my phone, and all I was seeing was, well, Cedar Point slammed, and Six Flags Great Adventure slammed, and Kings Island's parking lot's full, and it was it was that week, that day, where it was the one day a year where every single park in the country is slammed, because people realize no one's in the Halloween spirit till October, and then people are busy in October. Everybody realizes, oh crap, Halloween's in like a week. We got to do our Halloween stuff, and everybody goes to every park in the country on the same day. It was that day at Carowinds.
Plus, also the park or the weather's been perfect around
the weather.
The country for
the weather at Carowinds was great. I had pants and a hoodie on, and I ended up taking the hoodie off for a little bit.
Nice.
So it was like perfect weather too. It was absolutely mobbed at Carowinds. Granted, I've only been there like I think this was my third visit ever, but like I've never actually seen them run out of parking spaces before.
Wow.
I had to park so far away from the front gate that my phone didn't even register I was at the park anymore.
Oh wow!
For context, because you go check wait times, but when you're not at the park, it says please visit the park. It was hitting me with that. Context: I stayed at the Spring Hill Suites. That's like right in the parking lot of Carowinds. It just opened like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I would have been quicker to just walk from my hotel room than get in my car, drive, and then walk.
Oh my gosh.
But by the time I figured that out, I was too committed. I was like, I already drove over here. I'm not driving all the way back.
Right.
Jeez, oh man.
Just absolutely mobbed. So anyway, needless to say, I bought Fastlane. It was $85, which I thought was a steal on that day. Because every single coaster and every single ride had full queues spilling out onto the midways.
God almighty.
The longest I had to wait was for Fury, which was down for a lot of the day. It didn't open for the day until like 5.
Oh, wow.
And when it did open, everybody in the park went there. And the Fastlane line, I'm not even kidding you, stretched to about Hurler.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah. It was a busy day.
That's why Fastlane was only $85.
Yeah. Well, granted, so I did wait in line for it because I was like, well, I'm here. I bought Fastlane. I'm going to ride it. I'm going to wait in line. It really only was about 25 minutes. They were doing a really good job of prioritizing Fastlane. And after that initial rush, the line did eventually die down. Something I'm forgetting here. Shout out to Carsten. I guess both of our friends, David and Haley, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. David and Haley. Saw them at Carowinds. I know I've seen them like every single time I've been to the park this year, except this last time. And we did the Coaster Mania cruise together, and they both listened to the show. I just randomly saw them at Harmony Hall. I was just getting a drink, and I was like, "Hey, I know you two." And they were like, "Yeah, we just decided last night before we went to sleep that we were going to get up in the morning and day trip here."
Nice. That's fun.
So yeah,
why not?
It was.
The weather's perfect, so it
was great to see them for a little bit.
Yeah.
So Copperhead Strike. Sorry, I completely got derailed. I rode it a few different times. The first time I rode it, I also got grouped in the front, and I did not want to ride in the front, but that's where I got grouped. I enjoyed it in the front, but I thought it had too much hang time on everything, like literally every element.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time I rode it in the back, and I really enjoyed it. Probably my second favorite ride at Carowinds, behind Fury.
Doesn't it feel like when it stalls, you feel like you're about to like roll back and not make it through?
Yeah, it does. it's odd.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Like, it was a good odd, but.
And the JoJo roll in the beginning, I'm not a fan of it. The JoJo roll.
I hate those so much.
As soon as you like leave the station, you go upside, like do a twist and go upside down and stuff. Ugh, not a fan of it, but yeah. I feel like I'm going to fall out every time I go on that when in the JoJo roll. I'm like, oh God. Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it was solid. It had a really fun layout. It was, like nice and fast and whippy. It was just, it was fun.
Good.
So I wrote it, I think, like 3 or 4 times. And,
now, would you say that it's better than Maverick? Would you compare that or no?
I don't think they're on the same league of speed and intensity.
You think Maverick's better then?
I do.
Okay.
I think if you were to you're trying to work somebody up to Maverick, I think Copperhead Strike is the category right below Maverick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like natural succession of things, you'd go Copperhead Strike, then you'd move on to Maverick because they're about the same, but it's a little faster, a little more intense, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Fury was great. I enjoyed my rides on Hurler there, Woody. I thought it was fine. Not Intimidator. What's it called now? Thunderstriker? Thunderstriker was pretty fun. I did not ride their stand-up. I've done it before. I did not ride it this trip.
Oh, Vortex?
Yes.
Yes. That's skippable.
Don't understand why that's still standing, but
well,
in 2 different senses, why it's still standing and why it's still a standing coaster.
Well, I was glad to see it that day because on that day that park needed capacity in any way it could get it.
That's fair.
was that line for some reason? I think the general public loves that ride.
Carson, I'm not even kidding. Every coaster line was filled to the entire queue, spilling onto the midway.
Didn't matter what it was.
Every coaster, even the mine train.
God.
I mean, when it's a busy, it's that time of the year. Everybody's got certain days off of school, and that's the day. That's crazy though.
I did not ride their Aero Looper, the Carolina Cyclone.
No,
skipped that one.
That's a good one. That's a Juggle Lake original, baby.
No, not that one. That's the Boomerang.
Or wait,
no, I did the Boomerang. What I was talking about was the Aero Looper, Carolina Cyclone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Boy.
I did the Boomerang because it has the new restraints.
Mm-hmm. Did you like it? I like it with the new restraints.
Yeah.
They're comfy.
Granted, I'm pretty sure the last time I was there, it had the new restraints. I feel like that's been around for a while.
Yeah, I feel like they did the new restraints on that when they moved it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could possibly, yeah.
Did not do their little wild mouse. I was walking by it and people were actively getting evacuated from the spiral staircase. I was like, no, thank you.
It's always broke. Always.
Was Fastlane still okay though? Like, was it?
Yeah, Fastlane. The line looked fine.
Still decent. Everything was still decent with all the lines besides obviously Fury.
The longest I had to wait for Fury. The longest I had to wait for anything was Fury at about around 25 minutes to a half hour. Everything else was pretty close to walk on.
That's not bad. I mean, they do advertise Fastlane as waiting less. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna, it's not. I mean, I think the reason is Cedar Point's Fastlane just gets so long, and they have done a good job this year.
This year's been so much better, but overall, like every year leading up to this year, Fastlane has been rough. And
it's just trying to find the price point of how much can they charge, because I think they've been charging $250 per person for Fastlane, for it and stuff. But it's just like finding the right balance of how much to pay. Like you want it to be a high enough price to where it's not easily be like, okay, fine, it's $200, sure, whatever, to where someone's like, maybe not. And then you've got those families that are staying at the resort at Hotel Breakers and stuff, and they only got a short journey. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to see.
Yeah. And
it's just a demographic of what people will buy, specifically like the Fastlane, and then other parks. Like you put $250 over there at Kings Island, no one's gonna buy it. That's just the families
buys it at Kings Island anyway.
But yeah, so but it's supposed to wait less. So like for instance,
Not instant.
Right. For instance, Millennium's got a 2-hour line. Well, maybe you'll have to wait 30 minutes with Fastlane. It's a lot better than waiting 2 hours. You know, so.
Honestly, that's kind of it for Carowinds. I rode what I wanted. I rerode what I wanted. And then at this point it was dark. It was like 8:00, maybe 8:30. And it was just completely uncomfortable to even be in the park. It was so crowded. I mean, you're talking like the pretzel stand had a line 50 people deep. And
Jesus Christ.
You're waiting 30 minutes to get a drink. Like it was unbelievably, unbearably crowded. So I went to
for
leave.
Six Flags though. But yeah.
It was that park made money that night. So anyway, since I was just staying, just across the parking lot, and I had a long drive the next day, because the next day I was planning Charlotte all the way home, which was about 8 hours, a little over 8.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I've had my fun. I'm going to call it a night. So I went and got cookout and then went back to my hotel and went to sleep. But what struck me was by the time I, was like pulling back into my hotel, it was like 9:15. Parking lot at Carowinds has been full since like 6. Like people parking at like Bass Pro Shop and like the businesses across the street full. And there was still about 150 cars in the toll plaza, and there was a solid brake light line of traffic from the toll plaza all the way to the overflow parking.
Wow.
So
that is absolutely insane.
I don't know what they did with all those cars, where they put them, or if they put them anywhere. But that's just not worth it. No, and that was my thought too. I was like, I came here, I bought the fast lane, I rode what I wanted to ride because I knew it was going to be busy. Generally, even if I'm not riding, I still enjoy hanging out in parks because they're fun environments, right? The kinetics, the social aspect, just everything about it's fun. But it was even too crowded to enjoy just being in the park. I mean, it was insane.
Wow.
So I still had a good trip, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go get cookout, and I'm going to go back to my hotel and go to sleep. And that's what I did. I'm
jealous you had cookout, and then I'm also kind of shocked that you didn't take your butt over to Kennywood and
I thought about that too. Truthfully, I weighed Holiday World, I weighed Kennywood, I weighed Hershey Park, I weighed Busch Gardens. Like the return trip home was so up in the air because I didn't know when I was leaving, but I also did not need to go back to work. Like I could have taken that whole next week off and been fine.
Yeah.
And work was kind of expecting me to do that. So like I could have went so many places, but the problem was everything was only open Saturday and Sunday, and I left Saturday. So I really only would have had that one good day. And then after that on the drive home, if I'm all the hell the way up in Hershey, PA, it's like, well, shit, nothing's open when I'm driving back to Florida. So now like I need to just keep pushing through.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You did the right thing for sure.
Oh yeah. I think so too. And I mean, kudos to you to think about, doing a long road trip and
it was
all that stuff and everything.
It was very.
You didn't get to go to Six Flags America, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It was very, very unfortunate circumstances as to why I was back, but I made the best of the situation as only I can.
and it sounds like your grandma definitely would have approved, and
So anyway, that's the end of my crazy little fall solo credit run.
That could have been its own episode just on its own.
Yeah, it's like 2-hour episode. So sorry, I've got two episodes in one.
Yeah,
but
well, good. That'll carry us through next week because we ain't recording next week.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll probably start recording once I'm assuming once the park closes.
Yeah, we should be a little more regular then.
Yeah.
Every other week or every other 3 weeks.
Yeah, we should really drop the weekly podcast part from the intro because unfortunately there's just not enough news generally.
Well, honestly though, I was thinking about this year, since like the whole merger thing and stuff, it seems to be like Six Flags has been more tight-lipped kind of. And then also, like, if you think about it, like, you had the merger between Cedar Fair and Six Flags. Like, that was a huge corporation, and then Cedar Fair was a huge corporation. So they usually, Six Flags would get a bunch of goodies, and then Cedar Fair would get a bunch of goodies. Well, now they're together, and it doesn't seem like they're giving out a whole lot of goodies at the moment, that at least that's public right now, that we can really talk about. So
I feel like in 2 or 3 years, it's going to be, when we do the new ride show, which we didn't even have this year.
Yeah.
When we do the new ride show, it's going to be like a 2-hour long show.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, blah, 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 so for sure.
Well, so look forward to like 3 episodes from now when we do Cedar Fair Grinch.
Yeah. The Grinch, and then we got.
Seriously, that's probably only
Six Flags Santa. Six Flags Santa.
That's probably really only a couple episodes away. Crazy enough,
at least Kyle, got to go to Six Flags over Georgia, and now he can be a Grinch and say he doesn't want whatever there, and not just have to look at the website and kind of guess.
Yeah.
Content. He was getting content.
Yep, for sure. All right, Kyle, let's end this thing, and
I won't go to bed.
Yeah.
All right. If you all have stuck around this long, thanks for listening to my rambling mess of a trip report. That's all I have.
Yep, what Kyle said, and Kyle, thank you for sharing your trip report. I always look forward to this. Is one that even if I wasn't here, I probably would have actually listened to the show. So see y'all in a couple weeks.
And make sure you follow us, and make sure you rate us, and share this podcast with all of your friends, and rate us. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rundown on Fun. Don't forget to follow us on social media for all the latest updates from Six Flags Entertainment. And remember, always be kind to your ride operators. See you soon.